Around when it's good. Hey, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MiddleEasy Fight Fist Podcast. Thank you for joining us, Fisters. I am Luke Tuma. I'm here with my co-host, Dan Lamort. And our guest, our illustrious guest for this evening, or this morning, depending on when you're listening to it, Tim Sturtevant, everybody. Wow, give it up for
so great to
Tim,
be here,
last
guys.
name
So
hard to pronounce.
Yes, don't worry about it. It's like an event that's stirred.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being here
Thanks
tonight.
for coming on to the Dead Air podcast.
I'm happy to be here. Dan. You seem like you're in good spirits tonight, Dan.
Yeah,
You're
great
fucking
spirits.
jolly boy over there.
Dan's as happy as he's ever
That's
been.
why I got mad at that the other day. I tweeted it and the tweet bombed. But everyone was always like, you get away with saying so much shit because you look jolly. But I was like, look at the list of every serial killer. Most of them look jolly.
Yeah, John Wayne Gacy was like I'd say you're very similar.
Also,
in
jolly's a really nice way to say fat.
Yeah,
There's never been a skinny guy who was like, everyone's like, yo, he's so jolly.
If you look at
Dude's
the
just
list
cut
of
up
fat
and ripped.
serial killers, if you saw them playing Santa at your local mall, you wouldn't even bat an eye. You'd be like, he just looks jolly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, little do
That's
they
where you
know.
strike.
But
I keep so many dead bodies in the dorms of NYU in New York City.
No, we're just starting to shit on him. All right,
But
guys.
you guys.
If you're not noticing, Austin Locked Up is not on the mic tonight because we can't afford a fourth one.
He's doing
Yeah,
camera
we
work.
got a
Great job.
3 mic special for you.
And I think the good reason he's not on is because he had such a strong episode last week that I didn't want him to feel like he had to match that this week.
Yeah.
He had some good roasts.
Austin went above and beyond last week, and
He did.
we don't think he'll ever be able to keep up with
he
that.
handed
So,
in his
finally,
letter of
turned into a real
resignation.
boy.
absolutely.
So,
We got our guest on, though. Tim
Middle
Sturtevant,
Easy.
everybody.
What's up, guys?
Fight Fist
Fight Fist.
podcast.
Yeah.
What you?
I'd say.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How
I
I
know-
love you guys. You guys are so. That's the thing. But for real, you look jolly, and Luke, you look like you're such a happy boy. It's like
He is.
I wish I could look like you guys have like this
It
like
sounds so
like you have like
cheesy, but-
upturned.
yeah.
People are always looking at me like always like, yo, what's wrong with you? And I'm
He's
like,
sitting there with a
just
smile.
sitting
I'm
here.
sitting here with a pocket knife.
Yeah, exactly.
He's such a happy
exactly.
boy.
I remember one time I ran into Luke in when I was walking in Boston, and he was walking with his girlfriend, whatever. And I was just like walking, and Luke was like, I didn't recognize you at first. You're
Yeah.
like, yo, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Like I get that. That's like a Bill Burr bit kind of, but like it's like I don't know. Like I get that resting. Like
Yeah,
people
well,
are like, "What's wrong with
Well, what
you?
did I
Why are
say
you
when you
looking
showed
like
up
that?"
today? I said you always
If
look
you
like
s-
you just got
Yeah.
evicted.
Yeah, I was about
you're
to, if Tim's on the street, he looks like he just like killed someone and hid the body.
and
then he's-
stole their outfit.
Yeah, that's what he's looking. That's what he looks like every time you see him if he's alone.
Wow,
in
I just
public.
realized the opening of this podcast has been a lot about murdering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love murders.
I've been
I like
watching
that.
a lot of that show, Mindhunter.
Mindhunters. I've watched.
What-
the shit
what
out
is
of
it? I haven't
Finished
seen
You haven't
It's
seen it?
basically about the study of serial killers. It's been interesting. All it taught me was that I was one shitty parent away from murdering everyone that I wanted to murder.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. If you believe that psychological, I don't believe that shit, bro. I don't believe it.
Austin is yelling off camera at me to stop.
Austin's like, stop talking about killing.
He
people.
forgot that
Austin's
he is
giv-
the tech bitch and not the show.
I mean,
Austin's giving us the wrap it up symbol.
Yeah.
Austin, for some reason, is lighting me from his dorm room, which we were actually in. We're not even in the NYU recreational room. We're in actually Austin Locke's dorm room.
Also, Austin's getting flashbacks because he's been targeted by every known
And
serial
Austin
killer.
doesn't really want us to tell people where he resides. It might be 75 3rd Avenue in New York City.
This is clearly going to get cut out. Oh, no.
Kids got security.
sorry,
But,
Austin,
uh,
I
Be
have a
alright.
mic.
But so what,
Yeah,
what
we're
you been,
here.
What
Women be shopping.
do you, what do you guys
No,
been?
We've both watched Mindhunters, but you haven't. Why haven't you seen Mindhunters?
I don't watch too much TV.
Oh, you're one of these guys.
I know.
Are you like you're too into work? Are you one of those like comics that's like I work all the
just
time.
I like
Works
how
so
our
much,
guest is
dude.
trying to get our co-host better known than I am. He's trying to find out more about you than I even
Yeah,
know
Tim
about
flipped the
him.
interview. So why don't you watch TV,
What do you
young
mean?
man?
Why don't you? What do you mean? Mindhunters was fucking great. People were posting on Twitter
Do you
all
think
about
you
it. They're
watch
like,
so much TV
hunting
because of the
minds.
lack of relationship between you and your mother? That's what Tim sounds like right
Yeah.
now.
No, come on. I mean,
Are you
it's like-
projecting? Is that why you don't watch TV?
I don't
We're
want
at
to talk about our
NYU. You
moms.
can't project your thoughts on me.
I'm
Oh
so
my
happy
God.
I came
So
here.
what do you
I
bet-
don't
what
want
do
to talk
you-
about my mom.
Dan, Tim, what have you guys been doing the last few days?
Crying mostly, blacking out, getting high. The big three.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim. So what's been going on with you?
I've been
Not crying, just blacking
holiday
out every day.
parties. I've been going to a lot
I
of
had my
holiday
family's
parties.
Christmas
yeah,
party
there you go.
yesterday.
How was it?
I don't remember much. I may have drank starting at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Do you feel like you can't be like a weirdo at holiday parties anymore because like what's going on in like the news and shit? Like,
Well, to be honest, I never once thought about sexually harassing my family.
I mean, well,
so it's not a problem.
dude, if you don't have a hot second cousin, you're lying, bro. If you don't have a hot
No, I will be.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, all
I
right, here we go.
I just remember that I made things really awkward
Yeah.
because my uncle gets really bombed and then dresses up as Santa.
My uncle
And
named.
and he has a mic and he makes everyone go up there and like he just does like a little riff with them. And he was like, "Have you been good this year, Dan?" And I was already like halfway into a blackout. So I was like, "Yeah, a lot better than Louis C.K." And I thought it was gonna hit, but I forgot it was just family that I usually don't see.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird feeling when your whole family just goes, "Ah, man."
Dude, that's a
That's
big
one
thing.
hell of a
about-
long way to deflect from saying you don't have a hot second cousin.
I don't actually.
Dude, that shit happens to
Me
me all
neither.
the time.
I have
where I'll-
cousins who look like me.
Oh, okay, all right.
Dude, I'll say
I mean,
shit
you
like
can be hot
all the
Fortune
time. Like
Feimster's my cousin.
I'll realize that I can't. All the time, I'll realize that I can't. Like my people that I don't know that well don't have my sense of humor. Like I was bartending at the place I bartended in the East Village, and this guy was like talking about some dumb thing that like he was with his friend in the car, and his friend said some dumb thing when
Don't
there's
talk
like a
about,
group of them.
women's rights or something.
Yeah. No, but he's talking about it. He's like, oh, like he was, I was driving. He said this stupid thing, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I would have just grabbed the wheel and killed us all.
Wow.
And he was like, oh, yeah, I got to go. I was like, okay. Like, I didn't realize that he wasn't, like that. He wasn't going to think that was funny.
You got to tone
Yeah.
that down. You
Yeah,
got to tone
dude.
that down. It's because you were
Yeah.
working too much.
It all
man.
comes back to
exactly.
projecting.
Yeah,
Was
exactly.
that?
I should start watching
Was it a
more
holiday
TV.
party? Were you working a holiday party? Is that what happened?
I
You're just like mad sad. People are yelling orders at you while they're kissing under mistletoe. And you just want to murder them.
I bartended during SantaCon. It was fucking ridiculous,
bro.
dude. It was the whitest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
It was like-
SantaCon is not fun.
No, it was awful.
I met my girl at SantaCon in Boston.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never mind.
I feel like the
Let's,
Boston SantaCon has to be even more intense than the one
Well, I mean, the
here.
Boston SantaCon is obviously more intelligent than the New York SantaCon.
Well, the New York SantaCon is just frat bros from Hoboken getting drunk with a Santa hat that says "Make America Great" on.
Yeah, that sounds
Right.
about right.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
The people in Boston are just getting slightly more money every month from their parents.
Nah, dude, it's
Is
fucking
it-
unbelievable.
Dude, Boston's
feel like
such
the
an
Boston
intellectual
SantaCon
city.
It's a
is
fucking
just-
shithole.
It's just everyone's
Boston
regular
Tim and I are
Boston
about to
is-
start trashing
Boston
Boston.
is plagued with this fucking pseudo-liberal. I can't even fucking get started on how fucking whack
Please
Boston
don't.
is, bro. Fucking garbage.
You're about to pull
I'll
a
be,
Michael
I'll
J
be
and alienate
performing.
him
I'll be
inside.
performing at Tommy and Jane's Club Cafe open mic headlining in Boston next week.
Yeah, you can see him also.
It's only
headlining the
PC
Kowloon.
jokes. There's nothing
Yeah.
funnier than cold pockets.
Yeah,
That's
Tim's
what I
gonna-
say when I'm in Boston.
Tim's gonna be
A lot
at
of
Improv Boston
absurdist
Thursday
humor.
through Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
Is improv
My
Boston
my
different
bow
than
tie,
improv
my
is-
fucking
Yeah.
my carnation that
Same
shoots
as-
fucking seltzer at people. Fucking bullshit.
Why
I
is
don't
this
wanna
this
offend
podcast is going
anybody.
exactly how I thought it
Oh
would.
yeah, this podcast
I
is.
don't want to offend anybody while I'm in Boston.
All the
dressed
MMA
like Santa during the holiday. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, yeah.
It's
Holiday.
funny
I was
'cause
at a
think
holiday
our
party.
First episode had the best numbers because some people had hoped that it would actually be an MMA podcast, and now people are like, "This is just weird."
Yeah, this episode, the last episode, but absolutely, this one's already going the direction the last episode went.
No one really listened to the last episode according to all the numbers.
Why? What happened? Who was on it?
I think the title was a bit strong. We titled it "Jacking Off to Billy Joel."
Yeah, we should probably just call them like episode 4, episode 5, etc.
That was my idea.
Oh.
Jacking off to Billy Joel.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanted to give it some pizzazz.
Yeah,
Billy Joel. He's from Jersey, right?
Is this what we're turning into? Just recapping our last
our
week's
last
podcast?
we
on
did this on the
current
last one too.
All right.
Listen, I'm sorry, Fisters. Those
Well,
are
look,
fans
I was
of
trying.
Fisters,
I was
by
trying to go in the holiday party direction, and I think I touched upon something that everybody deals with, which is hot second cousins. What do you say? What do you do? What happens when there's a pool game starts, and she's like, "Oh, I don't really know how to play pool very well." All right. Right. What happens then?
No,
right. What happens? What
I don't
happens
have
when?
the
the
same
way. All of
problem.
Tim's
What?
family holiday parties happen in pool halls.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
fucking
is-
dirty
I mean,
You're
basement
opening
bars.
up a lot about your family.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Everyone's being so guarded. It's just to be vulnerable. It's just 3 friends sitting around a fucking table at NYU, right?
It's weird.
Just
This also
chatting.
sounds like the pitch you give to your
Every
second
time,
cousins.
every time we
Yeah,
say
yeah.
NYU, Austin's like, pace, it's pace.
At Westchester Community College.
Yeah, we're at what is it, SUNY Valhalla?
SUNY Valhalla. But yeah, that's never happened to you guys before? All right, no doubt. Anyways, moving on.
Most holiday parties I go to are comedy club holiday parties, which are great.
Yeah, they are
Because
fun.
A lot of comics get drunk on their own time, but you very rarely get to see them all do it together in an actual club.
Yeah.
And it is so much fun to watch people unravel.
Yeah. I was at the New York Comedy Club. That's the only party I went to for Halloween.
That was a
Seemed
good
pretty
one.
Fun.
It was
Pretty
fun.
It's funny at the Christmas parties because, like, it's a bigger open invitation, so a lot of people who don't always work the club come.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, and it'll start off like innocent. They're like, yeah, I haven't been getting up much here. And then like 5 beers later, like, who is not fucking booking me? Who do I got to talk to get a goddamn check spot in this place?
This is a really good impression of Tim that you're doing right now.
Yeah,
This is completely what happens. Tim starts flailing.
How many tables do I have to clean?
Tim's flailing his
before I get an
ponytail back
audition?
and forth. He's like,
you
do
walk
you know
in-
how many people I've seated in this club? It's like
You
screaming.
walk in, you're like, you think you're just going to pay me back with some stale bagels at a holiday party?
How many chicken fingers am I supposed to eat before I get some goddamn stage time?
That happens
My
before
blood
I
is
get
half
drunk.
shitty nacho cheese.
Yeah.
I'm not even getting up.
Yeah.
No, but
Free
the
shots.
Broadway one is always funny because every year there's always one person who you walk in there and you're like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
So I want.
Oh yeah, one person at
Well,
the.
no, there's always one. No, you'll get why one stands out. So I walk downstairs at the Broadway Comedy Club party, and I bump into someone. I look up, and I was like, "Is that Chris Farley's brother?" And Kevin Farley was just hanging out at the Broadway Comedy Club
Oh, that
party.
sounds about right.
Doesn't even live in New York. And but it was funny because within like 20
Flew
minutes
in
he
from
left.
Chicago to do an
Yeah.
appearance.
Yeah, he was the get.
I'm trying to think.
But,
of the weirdest person I've seen at a party. I saw the dude that played. That was the priest in Gran Torino. Was at the party at Broadway Comedy Club.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what his name is, but he probably doesn't listen
That's
to
a
this
Does
test.
he
podcast.
do
looks-
comedy?
He looks like Austin's dad.
That's it.
Like, I swear to God, look it up. The priest from
Oh,
Gran
this is
Torino.
good.
Just would like to remind our guests that this is an audio podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't figured out the camera aspect of things yet.
Do the
Exactly.
fans not yet know what Austin Locke looks like?
I don't know. We'll tweet at us.
Yeah. Tweet at us. Hashtag Pace
I
University.
do want to do this though, because when our lovely guest walked up outside of the dorm rooms that shouldn't be named, he brought me a Christmas present.
Oh
I
my
don't know
God.
Tim that well,
Yeah, Tim.
but here's a Christmas present, and I'm gonna open it.
It was really sweet. So, guys, is the camera rolling?
And I want
Yeah,
to.
Roll it. Roll it.
It's okay.
All I
You
want
gotta
to
roll
say
it.
is that the box is not wrapped, but it does say 2018 is yours. 2017 is for the birds.
For the
Yes,
birds. Then he put
for the
DL. He
birds.
put
with
your-
my initials.
This
Yeah.
Tim didn't tell us he was gonna get these gifts. By the
No,
way.
of course not. This is
Yeah.
What the fuck this is.
It's just to spice up.
It actually has wrapping in
Yeah,
it.
it's got a little. It's
What you
little
got
wrapped
going
up.
on?
It's a little- There we go.
What is it?
It's just to spice up. It's just to spice up your first drag. It's just-
Wait a second.
It's just to
Wait a
spice up
second.
your first drag. You know,
Okay.
your podcasts are.
Okay.
The first gift is a bottle of Georgie vodka.
Yeah. I mean, I watch his first drag on Periscope a lot, and
And the
I just
other,
wanted to be
But
part of it.
But then Tim really commits to the vodka, and he gives us fireworks.
Yeah, be careful with that. Those don't fly very straight.
There's actual fireworks.
And those are M100s.
Dude, this is
Don't light 'em all at once, like,
this
it's just
is
so they don't roll
unbelievable,
around.
dude.
There's fireworks.
And there's an edible that'll get you high.
oh, and then
Yeah,
there's
All right,
an
all
edible.
right.
25
Middle Easy
milligrams.
Fight Fist fans, Austin's RA
Yeah.
is in the room
Yeah.
next door.
Yeah.
And we've just unraveled the best Christmas gift of
And
all
weed.
time.
And weed.
Shh, don't say it out loud. Anyways, guys,
Holy sh- we couldn't have made this shit up.
Yeah, all this has
you
to
know,
be
I just had
edited
some
out.
stuff landed. You know, happy birthday.
Oh
Merry
my God,
Christmas.
this is amazing.
I just wanted. I like his Periscope is great. It just need a little,
right.
a little pizzazz. You
Couldn't-
know what I mean?
All
You
right.
couldn't have made up a. If you had to put it in a box, items that you shouldn't bring into a dorm room, it is alcohol, drugs, and fireworks.
Yeah. Okay, and now
But I mean,
now
it
now,
couldn't have fit.
all right.
I don't feel like that couldn't have been like a better gift
so-
for Dan.
so
to have.
in the,
Unfortunately, we're gonna have
Um,
to take this in another direction
so
because
in the-
Austin's freaking the
Yeah,
fuck out.
exactly.
Right.
So given that the previous part of the podcast will probably edit it out, we'll just say that like if Tim were to gift
Oh, I don't care
Dan
what
a
Austin
gift,
does. I'm gonna edit this one myself. And make
No,
sure
he's
everything
definitely gonna
stays
edit this out. He's definitely gonna. So if Tim was to give Dan a holiday gift, the funniest gift he could give him in a dorm room would be
hypothetically speaking,
hypothetically speaking, of course,
in
would
the
be
Pace University dorm room.
Yeah, hypothetically,
personal of Georgie.
a personal of Georgie vodka, a series of M100 fireworks.
Actually enough
And a-
M100s to make it through the 12 days of Christmas.
Eh.
I'm not a thoughtless hack, all right?
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. We had a gift wrapping video. We will release it once Austin has graduated and this podcast is blown
Holy
up.
shit,
But right
that just
now,
made
it's going to
my
be
day.
in our hidden files It's gonna be like Nas, the lost tapes. We got some lost tape footage on here.
And the best part about it was that the building has security. And Tim goes, if he opens the present, it's not gonna be good.
It's not gonna be a good time.
And he was 100%
hypothetically
right.
speaking.
Yeah, you were joking around.
hypothetically
You're like, oh, if he opens this up, we're all gonna get in trouble. I was like, it'd be bad for all of us.
It was literally incriminating.
But listen,
It's literally bombs. And
listen, we're here to support what really matters.
It was the ISIS care package.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just honestly.
And I was gonna be like, "How was your guys' last 4 days?" And Tim was like, "Open the present."
That package looks like it should be accompanied with a note of cutout letters saying, "I have your daughter."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I wasn't gonna
Liam
I didn't have big
Neeson
enough wrapping
package.
paper.
That
Yeah.
was amazing. And
Yeah.
I do feel bad for Austin, but I can't specify enough that we were recording this
In
in an apartment building in a disclosed location.
yes,
As you could see, for the people who aren't here, we have a refrigerator and a stove and a sink. We're in an apartment.
yeah,
We're
we're
not
not
in any.
We're in one of our
not in an
apartments.
adjacent
dorm room
to
at all.
Mercy College. Mercy College, folks. You want
We're
to become
not-
You want to become a
Rep-
phlebotomist?
Sure, we're sitting at a
You
table.
only need 18 credits for that, guys. Come on down to Mercy College. Paying cash, first 5 credits are free.
Oh my God.
Fucking 5 episodes later, we
Mercy
renamed this to the Tim Sturtevant Show, and
Mercy
Austin's kicked
College.
out of college.
We may have just ruined a man's
Austin
collegiate
needs to
career.
Austin needs to grow a goatee and start writing better bits for this
Yes.
podcast.
I think he has to grow a goatee and just get out of town.
Yeah,
after
exactly. Exactly.
Austin's gonna be an alcoholic in a
Exactly.
month. He's like, Tim
I f-
ruined me in
Holy
this
shit.
town.
I feel like, don't you feel like when you grew the facial hair, you became like a different person? Was it like a?
How are we gonna so quickly get away from the fact that you gave me fireworks?
What do you mean? Because it's gonna be fun for you. It's gonna be
Hypothetically
a fun time.
speaking,
Yeah.
that
Your
would have been a funny
periscopes are gonna be
joke.
so much more funnier. Just don't light them all at once. That's a lot.
This is
Oh my
unbelievable.
God! You could make this up. That is
No,
hysterical.
that was the.
And
But
I
I
don't
kind of
think-
pegged you right, didn't I? Georgie
Yeah.
fireworks, a little
Well,
weed
I
candy.
Oh my
unfortunately don't know
God.
if this is gonna translate to the people at home.
Of course,
But
it'll
this is
translate to people at home.
hysterical.
Should
This
Austin?
is
Austin
amazing.
should open his gift. Let's give Austin here. Austin,
Yeah.
come over here. I'll give
Austin,
you
come
the,
to the
I'll
mic.
give Austin a mic.
Au-
no,
Austin,
It's okay. Come on. No,
Come
it's
on.
okay. Don't worry. Yours.
You could stay off camera.
yeah. Watch out! We got the shot in
I don't
here.
want to mess up the shot here.
Hey, just so everyone remembers what we're all about.
At Pace,
At Pace University.
It's
I'm
not time
here.
for bitch. Just
Okay.
open your present.
This is from Tim to me. I'm excited.
Oh my God! It's clearly a. What the fuck?
It's like some Illuminati book. What is it? it's a UCB comedy manual. Get the fuck out of here.
He gave you the.
Merry Christmas.
He knows me so well.
Merry Christmas. From one progressive fellow to another. Merry
The
Christmas.
UCB comedy improv manual.
I'm just gonna go through the table of contents real quick. He wrote me a note. Wait. Dearest Austin, no matter what the world throws at you, just throw a yes and right back. Merry Christmas, my brave, strong boy. So brave. Happy New Year.
So brave. Hey, round of applause for our illustrious guest,
That
Tim
is
Sturtevant,
hilarious.
everybody. Oh, this is
Oh my
amazing. Sit down on a fucking
Well, I really hope the
video.
camera's rolling because this has to go online.
Yeah, it does. It's amazing.
Holy
amazing.
shit!
I just.
Did he just
Yeah.
become our favorite guest? Sorry, Diego.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's all about
You
Christmas
set
cheer.
the bar high. Now people have to come in with books and a legal possession.
I thought
Yeah.
that's like the thing.
We're gonna
you
have
did,
like
'cause
Frankie Edgar in here. We're gonna be like, "What did you buy us,
Yeah,
Frankie?"
This is a bunch of
Like,
headbands. This is trash,
We're
Frankie.
like,
Do
what
you
do
even
you-
know who I am?
Holy
Jose Aldo's
shit.
our guest. We're gonna be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Jose, you didn't get us any presents?" 'Cause,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
That
our
was
fir-
insane.
I saw the Rogan.
was amazing.
Because
That
on
is-
Rogan doesn't like people like bring him like alcohol and like weed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm not gonna.
One of the reasons
He wanted
they
to
do
set
that
the standard.
is because he doesn't record in a college dorm room.
Yeah, well, I mean,
apartment. Hypothetically, it'd be funny if we did it in a college dorm room.
but I mean,
Thank God, not enough people listen to this podcast for it to get
I'm
back
playing
to
too
any
much to
sort
the
Yeah.
camera.
I
Playing
would
too
not
much to
want
the camera.
Pace to get that upset.
If
Yeah.
if you've enjoyed so far in the podcast, you enjoyed our holiday segment, just hashtag Pace University, tweet it at us
Yeah.
at Austin Locked Up at
Or
T-Stirred Comedy.
hashtag or Nyack. Either school works.
Yeah,
Is Nyack a college?
It is not college.
we always do hashtag Pace University. Fans
So
tweet it at us.
I think with that gift, Tim definitely earned the right to tell us some of his fight stories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tim.
oh,
yeah, you
yeah,
want to
so
rattle a good
I'm
one
great
so
off?
fight
good at
stories.
transitions.
Yeah, we're gonna edit all of it anyway. It doesn't fucking matter.
What do you mean? We don't edit anything.
Yeah, oh, okay, all right. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, no, I've been in a fair amount of fights. Like I was saying, I got like pretty bad brain damage on my frontal cortex from getting punched in the head a fair amount.
It shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like really bad at like decision making. Hence the
So I have some pretty
fireworks
bad.
and
I have some
liquor.
pretty bad brain damage on my
just
frontal
like the
cortex.
idea
It really fucks me up when I'm trying to like pick out holiday presents.
Yeah, but like even like before all the fighting and stuff, I still like to like light stuff on fire and like I don't know, jump down stairwells.
I like
don't
the
know.
idea of Tim being like, I gotta get him one of these things. Then the brain damage being like, get him all of them.
I was like,
It's
wouldn't it
so
be great
funny.
because they all three of them kind of tie
When in
together.
the
It's
history
like
of society has alcohol and fireworks ever gone wrong?
it's literally like the most fun I've ever had is alcohol and fireworks
Oh my god.
and a little weed candy.
So what? How did you injure your frontal cortex?
It's a fair amount of scruffles here and there, but like one of my most memorable ones is probably one where I got like the shit beat out of me when I was up in Rochester by a couple
Sounds about
Haitian
right.
kids.
Again.
Yeah,
Not gonna
yeah.
comment if
So
that
I was
sounds
I was happy when Trump was about to kick 60,000 of them back.
they
Am I
jump
right,
you?
guys?
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Oh my God.
No, so anyways, I was in I was up at
Jesus Christ.
I was up at SUNY Buffalo. Not getting any work done. And my girlfriend was at RIT at the time. And she lived in the dorms at RIT, and I was over there pretty much every weekend, causing trouble and whatnot.
Getting it in.
And like, yeah, of course. And then like, I mean, when you go to college, people don't tell you it's like you have to restart. You know what I mean? Like, so I couldn't like just stay at Buffalo during the weekends, which probably would have been better. I just go to RIT so I could get laid and get drunk, like with my girlfriend. Yeah, it's so great. But then like halfway through the first semester, like these like her roommate, who happened to be African American, started dating a Haitian kid, and her roommate was like,
also happened to be.
who I mean, he was Haitian. He was African. Well, not African American. He'd be Haitian.
Asian American.
Yeah, whatever he was. He was Haitian. And he'd come through there and he'd hang out with like 18 of his friends who somehow were all his cousins. Like, dude, how are they? Oh, you're really all cousins? And like they'd play NBA 2K until like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'd drive an hour from Buffalo to come fuck my girlfriend. And these fucking cocksuckers would be in there fucking arguing about 2K in a fucking dorm room that was made for 2 people to live in.
Oh
right?
My God. Oh my God.
So, before the podcast, Dan was like, I feel like Tim's going to start reading off a manifesto. And it's literally exactly what's happening. Haitian American, or as I call it, Haitian.
They were. They were speaking like patois or whatever.
I don't know why I'm
This is
surprised
amazing,
because this
dude.
is going in the direction of manifesto.
But it's literally not anything that didn't happen. So this is what happened.
Tim
so I
looks
bought,
and sounds like the future Unabomber. Like, he's
get
a
outta here. I
Unabomber.
look like a Unabomber. I'm just being honest. So what am I supposed to fucking say? They were in there. There's 18 of them every fucking day. They're all fucking just hanging out in this dorm room. I'm trying to get my dick wet. I'm 20 years old at the time. All right. It's very important. If you drive an hour, right? If you bring alcohol to a different place, you know, you want to fuck your girlfriend.
Oh my God.
So this happened like 3 weeks in a row. So that's like a full month of not getting my fucking dick wet, right?
You could have just
So at the end of
been
that-
a man and played some 2K with them.
Well, no, come on. What am I supposed to do? Like side with them in the situation?
I feel like we should stop calling it them.
Well, it was an us versus them situation, and not because it was me against people that wanted to play 2K. That's
All
the
right,
us
that
versus
was
them.
This podcast has been wild problematic.
Oh,
Here
come
at
on! What's the
MiddleEasy.
problem with it? What is it? You guys wanted to hear a story? That's how the fight
Yeah,
started.
keep going.
Oh no! Everything was perfectly fine. It was a sunny day, and I was fucking making. You know what it was? We were making bouquets together, and we had a disagreement over a fucking centerpiece that we
I'm
wanted
all
to put
for
at a
it.
fucking
I'm all
gay
for
wedding.
it. I'm
Like,
all
what do you
for
think
it.
happened?
No.
Jesus Christ!
I wish the camera was facing this side so we could see the veins on your neck popping out.
Oh yeah, we were at a fucking world peace seminar, and we were all smoking a peace pipe, and somehow we got an argument over how great Gandhi was.
best-
The next
Austin
thing
is
you know,
so-
we're
Austin
choking
is-
each other out. and
Austin
I
is
got jumped.
reading his UCB comedy Bible
Austin
right
feels
now.
so awkward right now that he's reading his book.
Austin's reading his How to Do Improv 101 UCB
all right.
book.
Long story short, I've gone a month. I've got blue balls, and these kids, I'm like, all right, okay. If they're here this weekend when I go, like, I'm gonna say something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the week prior to that, I had brought my girlfriend Chanel No. 5, right? It's pretty expensive, right? Especially for a fucking college kid, right? Chanel No. 5.
Yeah.
And throughout the week, she's saying, oh, like there's like da-da-da, like so my perfume's missing, whatever. Like I think my roommate's using it. Like I can smell it on
Mhm.
her. Right?
Yeah,
So
right.
Chanel No. 5, bro. I'm 20 years old. I'm hurting. Not only that, I haven't got my dick wet in a month. right? So something I spent money on, something I care about, is being like stolen from me on 2 different levels by these fucking people. These people don't want to play 2K. So I go there, and we're going out to dinner, right? We're going out to dinner at fucking Olive Garden, and me and my girl leave, right? We come back, and they're still there playing 2K. I'm a little heated. I'm like, all right, whatever. We're gonna go down the hall to the person I'm not gonna name on this podcast, his dorm room down the hall, and before we go, my girl goes to put some perfume on her, and she noticed that more of it's missing.
Oh shit!
So I turn and confront her roommate, and I'm like, hey, you gotta stop using my girlfriend's perfume. Like, I didn't buy that shit for you, right? I said that to her.
Roommate was a man?
No.
Chanel No. 5 is a very expensive female's perfume.
Oh, I thought
Her roommate was a woman.
Her roommate is a female.
So the female's playing 2K.
Her roommate is a female.
Female
her
who had
roommate's a
bunch of
female
guys.
who has a boyfriend.
Okay, well
that was bringing.
She has a female. The female has a male boyfriend who likes to play 2K.
Dude, the dorm
Yes.
room. The dorm room was about this big, bro. About this fucking big with 2 people
big
living
as
in it.
this
2
apartment.
girls, bro.
As big as
this fucking room right here.
Yeah, as big as this one bedroom.
All right, guys. Like, what is this? Your story?
Also, don't you love that he wanted to, he decides to censor out the name? That's what he's gonna be like. I don't want to go too far
All right,
on this
all right.
fucking
Shout out
podcast.
to Yusef, yo. Yusef.
Yusef.
Get fucked up. Yusef Farr. What's up,
Get the
Habibi? How
fuck
you
outta
doing,
here.
baby? Yusef, yo, remember J. Cole, bro? That shit was fire back in 2010. Anyways.
This is the most slanderous podcast. Keep it going.
So I finally confront the situation, because girls will never get around to saying shit. She'll just complain about the perfume being gone forever, right? So I finally say something to this girl. I'm like, hey, you need to stop using my girl's perfume. And then her boyfriend like pauses a 2K game and was like, I don't really like the way you're speaking to my girl right now. And I'm like, what, bro? He's like some 5'5", like Aeropostale wearing motherfucker, probably like 110 pounds. With like he had that like 2010 like when dudes used to shave a mohawk into their afro and dye it blonde and shit. With like a little fucking dangly ass Aaron wearing a fucking bandana with an a gray Aeropostale sweatshirt trying to get in my face,
He had like
bro.
a Kid Cudi thing
Dude
going
had
on.
like a concave chest, bro. Like his shoulders touched in the front, bro. He's trying to act mad tough. So he was like, I don't really expect you to come talk to my girl disrespectful like that, man, in my face. And I'm like, what, dude? Who the fuck are you talking to? And he like gets closer in my face. And
then you started to smell.
So I grabbed the back of his hoodie and put him on her bed and just started punching his head, on the bed, like bang bang. But it wasn't really doing that much because it's a bed. You know what I mean? So like when you hit someone's face on a soft object, their head just kind of like bounces back up into your hand. So it's kind of like a fucking cartoon punch. I'm just fucking whap 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 whap. So meanwhile, he's got 2 of his cousins in the dorm room. So the other motherfucker that's sitting at my girl's desk stands up and puts me in a headlock, a 2-armed headlock. He's a tall, skinny motherfucker. Maybe together these dudes probably weighed as much as I did, right? So he gets me in a headlock and then leans back against one of the lifted beds. You know the lifted beds where they put the shit underneath it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's leaning back against this lifted bed, holding me like this. And I'm bugging out. I'm struggling. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do to get out of this shit. And this little motherfucker, this 5'5" motherfucker's jumping up and just landing meteorites right on my fucking right eye, bro. Like coming down, I'm seeing blue and shit. Yeah, motherfucker, boy, motherfucker. Yeah, that's all I'm fucking hearing, bro. That's all I'm hearing, bro. This kid's jumping up and like punching down on my fucking eyeball, bro.
This story sounded like a reggae
Dude,
song.
so I swear to God, bro, he's like jumping up and my girlfriend's bugging out. Like she's fucking like scratching the other girl. And they're fucking fighting, trying to get me out. I'm fucking like stepping all over the place, trying to get out of this headlock. So finally, bro, I fucking whip to the right, and I break the fucking bed, the thing that holds people in. I break the top off of that and fall to the ground. Right. I put a carabiner around my hand. I come up. I fucking swing at the tall dude. I miss him. I nick his eye with a key, whatever. And these dudes start, oh, he got something. He got something, man. We go get the hammers, man. We go get the hammers. So they run to the door, bro. They're saying they're going to get the hammers. They're coming back. We gonna kill this white boy. We gonna kill this. Keep in mind, bro, the first time it gets racial is them saying they're going to kill this white boy.
Yep.
We're going to kill this white boy. We're going to kill this white boy. They run out the hallway, bro. My hand's all fucked up. I can't feel my hand, bro. My fucking face, bro. I can't. I'm hurting through here, bro. I got a fucking huge hematoma under my eye.
And then you just looked at the camera and was like, Chanel No. 5.
My shit's ripped up.
It was all an advertisement.
Commercial.
My shit's all fucked up, bro. I still got fucking nerve damage in my fucking my elbow from breaking that fucking thing. So we go downstairs to the public store. I'm bleeding out my face like real bad, dude. And we go and buy a bag of ice. And I'm walking back up the dorm room. My shirt's ripped. I'm bleeding, bro. I'm all fucked up, bro. And we get back in the room. We're sitting there. I was like, yo, let's call the police.
Oh shit.
So we did. We called the police. Police came through. And, like, of course, her roommate's, like, flipping out, like, doing that whole, like, I told you, motherfucker. You should fucking be in here.
I know.
Like, all up in the cop's face.
Right,
in the
dude.
cop's face.
We're going, oh, at least we're past the accent.
Right, in the cop's face.
At least we're past the voices.
In the cop's face. That's what she sound like. You like Nick Mullen, don't you? That motherfucker be doing fucking funny-ass accents and shit, bro. Fucking shout out to Come Town real quick, bro. They fucking
You
keep it
remember when
100.
you'd be playing Grand Theft Auto on the reggae channel would come on, just sounded like pure chaos in the video game?
Yeah.
Dude,
That's what this sounds
that's what it fucking was like in real life, bro.
This whole thing
They
sounded
fucked
like
me up.
the intro to a rap song.
Dude, they,
like, yo, shout out to Come
dude,
Town.
they fucked me up, bro. I was spitting blood clots out of my mouth while the cops were
Jesus.
talking to me. Whatever. The cops are like, "All right, it sounds like you didn't do anything to get." Because I told them I didn't hit him first. That's what I told the cops, and they believed me because I was fucking nice and I wasn't yelling at the cops. Meanwhile, her roommate's fucking jumping up and down, fucking
my
yelling at the
God.
police officers
This
and
is
shit.
great.
So they fucking, I put ice on my shit, bro. I got a fractured orbital in my eye. I split the my ulnar nerve, bro. Like I was all fucked up, bro. And then I went back the next week and I got laid because her roommate,
Happy ending.
because her roommate got kicked out.
Oh,
Her
did
roommate
she
got
really?
kicked out. Yeah, because those motherfuckers got banned.
So
they got
see,
banned.
Austin, it takes a lot more to get kicked out of a dorm room
See-
than what
see,
we're
they-
doing.
they
Yeah,
got-
exactly. If you
they-
were in a dorm room.
So
Like-
so she got kicked out. She got kicked out. Her roommate got kicked out. So now all of a sudden my girlfriend has a single dorm, and the next thing you know, my girlfriend doesn't want to fuck with me anymore. And I just gotta go watch these videos on Facebook of her playing beer pong with like frat boys in the dorm room that I cleared for her to get, and now she's getting fucked in the dorm room that I fucking cleared because I scrapped with these kids.
Tim's clearly not over this yet. When was this?
This was 2010.
Almost 8 years ago. That's how you know it's a
Can you believe that?
manifesto.
It was like there was so many layers to it. There was so many. It's like yo, okay, you're the man in this situation. Like you're holding it down, and the next thing like you're all fucked up. Oh, you're injured. Like you know she's taking care of you. She's crying, whatever. And then like you're really fucked up, and then she dumps your ass, and now she has an empty dorm room that she can get fucked in by other dudes.
By Haitian dudes.
So the whole thing is that I should
Circle of life.
if I had never.
It all comes full
That's what I'm
circle,
saying, dude. But if I had never, not Haitian dudes, but there was one black hockey player that got in that.
Do you think
I
if you
know
would have
for a
backed
fact.
off from the fight that she wouldn't have broken up with you and you would have kept fucking her?
I mean, dude, the thing is, like, when you're dating someone long distance in college, and it's like you're a kid, like you think everything's like the end of the world, bro.
Yeah, long distance is a nightmare. It's
You
never
think
worked
everything's
once.
like and then like. I mean, it's a long story, but I don't want to talk about like the reasons I ended up upstate and all that shit and whatever. But like, I mean, nah. If I'd never gotten that fight, I never would have got my ass kicked. I never would have like calmed down. I never would have found like because prior to that, you think you're like a big man until you get your ass kicked. You know what I mean?
Circle of
Yeah.
life.
Until you get your shit pushed in and you're walking
Oh,
around
I'm
with
a
your
big-
face
I
all
always-
fucked up.
Tim's like, if I never got my ass kicked, then I wouldn't be like the calm citizen that I am now.
That
You know,
buys
I wouldn't
fireworks
have
and alcohol.
I mean, yeah, but like
No,
whatever,
but
dude.
I tell a lot of people that
No, I get what you're
so
saying.
many people have a false sense
Sorry,
of masculinity, and I guess for girls, like a false sense of toughness who have never been hit before.
Dude, that's a
I
huge
think
thing.
getting hit in the face is a big.
You know, what is
like,
it?
reality
Everybody's
check.
got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Vontae's Burfict said that or something.
It is named
Or
middle linebackers.
Tyson said that.
Yeah.
I
That-
remember when the one I was jumped one time. I mean, I've been in fights, but I was jumped one time.
Yeah.
All because I live in a town called Manalapan, New Jersey, but I went to a Catholic high school, so everyone hung out from multiple towns. And there was this group of kids in Freehold, New Jersey, who lived in the borough, which is like the seedy area, and they were known for like beating the shit out of people.
Yeah.
If something happened to them, they were gonna kick the shit out
Yeah,
of you.
yeah.
So we were all at a party, and apparently they thought I was someone else, but they didn't. They weren't normal people who came up to me and were like, "Hey, are you the one who did this to us?" They just waited till I was walking to my car.
You just
Yeah.
kind of look
And
like
then
that
five
guy,
of them
you know?
rolled up on me. 2 of them had pipes, and 3 of them were just using their fists. And they beat the shit out of me.
You look great.
And then, thank you. And then, but the thing was, like, I think the reason they stopped so quickly was because they realized that I was taking it pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, having the car next to me to lean on was helpful, but I never went down.
Yeah.
I took 2 pipes to the leg, and then I had 3 guys just hook me in the face. And then I, like, kind of rolled off, and I went back at one of them. Then one of them just stepped back, and he went, "Oh, shit, this isn't even the kid."
Really?
They just wanted to beat up someone else that I look like. That was it. And then the next week.
The thing is, though, is that like you look like a lot of guys
I know,
who
yeah.
are like about to get punched in the face.
Yeah, I look like a lot of guys who have probably been in too many fights.
Yeah, you look like
All
a lot of
because of
guys who
them.
have some bar fight revenge coming their way.
But then the moral of the story was they apologized because it wasn't me. And then the next week they smoked me out at a party. And we all
Wow.
got high together.
your story didn't end that nicely.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yours
bro, what
ended
can
in
you
a
do?
breakup.
Nah, I mean, whatever. I ended up moving to RIT the next year, but I don't want to talk about this, bro. What is this podcast, bro?
Oh
What is this
man.
fucking bullshit ass podcast?
No.
Why
I mean,
are you shitting on our
yeah.
podcast now?
Tim just commented the whole thing.
Well, you
bought
guys
us
are fucking
kids.
shitting on my accents. That's how they sounded. Like, what do
We're
you,
not
what do you want from
shitting
me?
on your accent.
Just your use of it.
Yeah, well, they walked up to me in Victorian English and said, "Oh, sir, you're interrupting our game of 2K.
I think
perhaps
when you tell the listeners they're
would
Haitian.
would you perhaps?
I think
the
our,
type of person that
You've besmirched my Davenport, and I believe that. Oh, when I say it like that, you guys are like, oh, well, it sounds like a Dickensian
that's
streeter.
more,
You're
that's
like, come
more
on.
listeners
no,
who
that's
like they were
that's a
Haitian,
more
everyone
accurate
knew.
Haitian accent.
Oh,
That's,
come
that's,
on,
that's,
dude.
that's what I think
Whatever.
of when I think of Haitians.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like when you, that's what the thing is about
Tim's the type
fight.
of guy
Like,
where like my friend from the UK sounds like he's like I don't know where. You got to do the accent for me. It's
Yeah.
like, but he's got a British accent. It's like, no, do it for me.
Yeah.
Tim needs to hear it.
well, I mean, it builds into the story. It's like
It
like,
makes the
that's how I
story.
always hate when people do bits and they're like, oh, well, of course, like it's an accent, but it doesn't really sound like that. You know what I mean? But like, I just try to approximate it as close to what it sounds like.
I'd be
And I
honest,
think
You're
I
trying to
love
paint a
that
picture
story.
for us. This is
I'm
art,
trying to
man.
not come out of the story because like that
Yeah.
those voices are stuck in my fucking head, and that's the way they sound to me. Because those dudes fucking beat the shit out of me,
What
bro. What do you want me to
happens
tell you? Like,
to this
yeah.
day when you
Bwah,
smell.
bwah, bwah, bwah. You're getting punched in the eyeball, and all you're seeing is like a blue light, and all you hear in the background is bwah, bwah, yeah, like all this shit, bro. You don't think that's gonna be like a traumatic
All of
memory
Tim's
to you?
nightmares are in Haitian
Oh,
accents.
dude, forget about it. Forget about it. Forget
Oh,
about it.
It's like some fucked up Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I could have learned how to speak patois, but
So to this day, if you smell Chanel No. 5, does it trigger flashbacks?
Oh yeah.
yeah. It's a
Oh, I
reminds
just
me of
like
a
to
lot of
picture a
things.
woman like squirting it on, and all Tim hears is. "Bop, bop, bop."
That explains why you were so angry when we lived in Boston, because Boston's got a huge Haitian population.
Oh, come on, dude. I don't hate Haitian. Like, come on. These
No
guys
one's
were
saying-
Haitian. Like,
no one's saying you hate
Yeah, it
Haitians.
was just,
No one's
no,
saying
we're
you
just
hate
painting
Haitians.
the brush for the listeners.
No, it wasn't a well painted story.
I just want to say I'm happy they didn't have their machetes on them.
Oh.
Am I right?
My God.
So,
Am I right? But yeah, I feel like, but like in terms of like fighting, like getting your ass kicked kind of calms you down. I feel like violence in our society has found like such new and weird ways to be enacted on people that now people are like using like social media to kind of like rally the troops. Like saying people were saying they're gonna fuck up that guy Ajit Pai, the guy that's voting for the
The
FCC.
FCC
oh,
chairman.
I hit him right.
They're
in
like,
the
I'm gonna
face.
punch him and I'm gonna fucking murder. They're like, people are saying these words, right? But then you see these people in person and they're just calm. But they're like spewing
I
this
wanna-
vitriol online. It's
I
like,
wanna play
dude,
devil's advocate. I don't want to hit him because of his beliefs fully. I really just don't like the way his face looks.
I mean,
Does
yeah,
that
but
make
that's
it okay?
but then that's the same. But then according to your, that's the same reason you got beat up. But so
Was
you've
my
been in that,
looks.
you've
Yeah,
been
'cause
in
they
that
didn't like you.
situation.
Hey man, I'm all, if you
Pay it
need to
forward.
hit,
Dude, there's
if
nothing
you
more
need-
empathetic than getting fucked up by someone. Like, there's nothing to put you in someone else's shoes other than like getting the shit beat out of you by them. Being
If
like,
you
oh,
need to
that's
be-
how angry they are at me that they're like whooping my ass. Because it's intimate. When you fight someone, it's very intimate.
is
It's
intimate.
very intimate. Like, you get to know someone real good.
All Tim's fights end up naked.
I mean, I'm just hard and confused.
Tim's like, oh, this hurts so much, but why is it so fucking hot?
It's like that scene. Remember in what the fuck is the Adam Devine show?
Workaholic.
Workaholic.
Workaholics. So they're fighting by the pool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, why do you smell like coconut?
Yeah.
Like, He's like, oh, I'm gonna grab you by your feet. He's like, oh, dude, as soon as you say feet, like I just got hard again. Like,
yeah,
it's
but they keep fighting, they keep getting
like,
hard.
but it like it is an empathetic thing because like, oh, that's how angry they are at me that they're fighting me. But those are like fights that happen on the fly. That's why I'm always interested in people that train to fight.
It's also
Because those
big
guys are like, okay,
internally.
we got a date, we got a time. Like the only time I ever got in a fight with someone that had a date and a time was this kid John McCann who played football. And we set up a date and a time to fight.
He penciled you into his planner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Everyone's like, what are you, a faggot? What is it, a date? like I was like, yo, 8:00 at fucking Marcella's Pizzeria. 8:00, I'm gonna see you there. And then like I turn back to my boys. Everyone's wearing like bubble North Face jackets with their fucking I-90s on their velour sweatpants. They're like, man, what are you, a faggot? You setting up a date with him or something? Right?
We don't have the edit option to get the F word out.
What? Oh, you can't curse?
Do you not know the climate we're in?
Oh.
Well,
That's what these kids said to me before a fight that I scheduled, like how MMA fighters schedule their fights.
Yeah, it was just like how MMA fighters.
It's
do.
funny
it's
because you made some beautiful points in there.
Yeah.
We've known each other for long. That's how he always talks.
That's what it should be.
it's
Though. Beautiful
bits of-
points
it's-
should be surrounded by insanity.
It's like gems of wisdom, and it's always caked in between madness.
What's
it's
the madness?
Like, in madness, you're almost. It's like 70% madness, 30% gems of wisdom.
All right. Well,
When
know
you're
what,
talking.
what is,
But
what
I
are
don't
you-
think-
what are you
I don't
saying?
think-
we are the world right now. What's going on here?
No, but
What-
there's
No,
some-
this is how
like
you.
you-
You
This is
think
a
it's
fight? It's a fight podcast.
you
What are
you
talking
think
about?
everything you say is
What
just
is this
it's just
fucking-
gem,
What
gem,
is
gem,
he's
gem.
doing- I'm coming
It's-
back to your point,
Okay.
in that the fact that when you do get your ass beat,
Yeah.
a small part of you, if it's not like a professional fight and it's actually out of anger, a small part of you has to step back and realize, like, what did I do wrong
Yeah.
to make this person want to beat the shit out of me?
Yeah, and you question your mortality.
I think it's good because it
Yeah.
also makes you internalize what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. Also, like the thing with fighters is that obviously scheduled MMA like professional fighters. The best
of
ones for the
wussies.
most part are very measured in their fight. Like the best ones are always super like measured in their demeanor, especially when like they're in the fight before the fight. Like someone like T.J. Dillashaw,
Oh,
extremely
yeah, yeah.
measured. You know what I mean?
Oh
Someone
yeah,
like
they don't let emotions.
Mighty
any
Mouse,
fighter who
extremely
lets
measured.
emotions get involved in it usually doesn't. Have
yeah, which is
successful
crazy though
fights.
because there's so much emotion in a street fight.
Yeah,
but in,
because
like, a
outside of
fight-
professional fighting, it's all emotion.
Yeah.
No one just looks at someone and be like, it would be really fun if we just fought right now.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, you looked at my girlfriend the wrong way.
Yeah, totally.
Which again comes back to an internal issue of being like, are you that not confident in your relationship?
Yeah, but it's also like that's why it's considered an art. You call it MMA, like mixed martial arts, because it's an expression. So those guys are so fucking mad. They're so mad. Like they're so there. Like if you look, like I remember like Dustin Poirier is a great example. That dude, or the Diaz brothers, like those dudes are so mad. They're so mad that they've like created like some sort of like diamond of anger that they just express through their fists.
That's a
and
good
their
point,
legs,
yeah.
bro.
But it was also
Like
for
these
those
guys
to
aren't like, oh, I'm,
They
I'm
can
just,
the
like,
Diaz brothers
they're-
can calmly trash
because that
talk
was a way
throughout
out
the
for
duration
them.
of a
Yeah,
fight.
that's what I'm-
fighting for some people is a way out.
They can calmly trash talk throughout every fight. Nick and Nate Diaz calmly trash talk throughout every single fight. Like they'll keep their composure fully and they'll be shit talking the entire time.
Those are the
slapping,
serious guys, the
pointing.
UFC fighters who do it professionally, but also have the emotional and anger side of things.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys,
It's
those
a
but
weird mixture.
But that's what makes it like the art aspect of it. So I guess they do have to schedule those fights, even though
It is an
kind
art.
of a
Comedy, on the other hand,
I mean, comedy's the same way. People paint it in the same light. I mean, you do deal with rejection, but the rejection comes in the form of people not laughing. It's not rejection in the form of
Have you
like
ever
a
sent
straight
punch in
leg
the
kick
face?
to your
No,
forehead.
yeah. Have you ever
or-
sent an email to a club and been like, and instead of them saying no, I would have rather them just hit me in the face.
Yeah, because that's something. That's
Like,
something.
hey, you just bombed. Right
Yeah.
in the face.
You'd
Yeah,
rather get
because-
punched in the face than get a no in an email from
Well,
a
because-
club?
I'd rather get a punch in the face than just the ignoring for years.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
because that pain is less complex. Like getting punched
And
in
you
the
could
face. Like
breathe
I know my face hurts. Like I know it hurts because I got
Yeah.
punched. Like when someone ignores you, like that pain is a lot more complex.
Yeah,
like
because you're
that's
not
more,
sure what's going on. When you get hit, you're like, well, I did something so bad
Yeah,
that they hit me in return for what I did.
dude. When you get ignored, explain to me where it hurts.
In my heart.
Exactly, right? When you get punched in the face, it's like, oh, my face hurts because
Yeah.
it got punched with a hand. The hand was hard.
What
No, I
Tim's
mean-
saying is physically he's very tough, but like he's got a soft inside.
Well, obviously,
No,
I'm sensitive. That's
Touch
why I
the
get so many
inside.
fights.
Yeah.
Like, like, what are you talking about? Like,
Tim
that's why I
actually
got so
said
many
touch
fights.
We're finding out the layers. You're like an onion, though.
Well,
man.
no, I'm not-
we're,
Tim
we're
actually-
peeling,
I'm
we're
more like a-
peeling
I'm
the
more like a
layers.
parfait, right?
Parfait.
That's actually
we're
a
peeling
great
the layers,
transition
man.
into what I want to talk about because I was supposed to do a big show next week.
Exactly.
Before I go on the road for 20, I want to do my new hour in the city, and I had a big show planned, and there was
Exactly.
tickets sold.
Which is a very
And then they
complex.
just
A lot
told
of
me-
parts have to work
Yeah, and
together
then they
to get
just
that
told
done.
me,
Yeah.
no, I woke up to an email this morning saying, hey, it's canceled.
Yeah.
And instead of giving me one reason, which would have been okay because I could have internalized me like whether it's a truth or not, that's why. They gave me 3 or 4 different reasons,
Yeah.
which just proved to me that it was personal.
Yeah.
If it's actually business, they're going to give you one reason why it's not working.
Yeah.
When it's personal, they lay out 4 different ones. Like, I hope he buys into one of these.
Yeah.
And I didn't like this whole morning has been haywire.
Oh, you didn't like that?
I didn't feel good. It felt bad
Of course not. I mean,
in the heart.
yeah.
I would have just rathered the booker to punch me in the face.
This is a
Yeah.
nice little therapy session we got going here now.
Well, I mean, yeah.
The most disappointing, which I had said before, but I want to say it again, the most disappointing part about my show getting canceled is that when I posted that it was no longer happening,
that I want to open for you now.
more people
Oh, surprise!
more people assumed it was diabetes killing me than the show just getting canceled.
They're like, oh, Dan. So you're saying people saw that your show got canceled? They were like, oh, Dan's not doing stand up on the whatever day.
I got over 40 messages asking how my health.
They all just assumed it was type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, his show got canceled. It must be high cholesterol.
You know how people mess with me? They're like, how's your foot? Still intact?
That's amazing. Your mom should have wrote the post. She'd be like, this is Dan's mom.
He's
Dan's show at Caroline's got canceled. And that just be it, bro. If you want to generate some fucking...
It's funny to show the transition of comedy because more people reached out to me saying, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Then every now and then you have that one comic that you're not that close with and they message you, hey, what happened at Caroline's? And by the way, you think I could get in there?
Yeah.
I was like, this is your time for that? It's like...
You had someone ask you for a recommendation?
Hand to God.
That's so insane.
They're like, hey, no, it didn't work out for you, but who should I talk to over there?
Dude, people are lizards. Yeah, it's Austin.
Austin, you're not on mic,
hey, man,
so...
I'd love to get
Be
up.
quiet.
Austin's too buried in his how to do improvisational
Austin,
comedy.
just figure out what does this all mean, Austin. Just start on that, and then we'll get
This
there.
is the only podcast that needs answers coming back. We're like, please help us. Tell us what to do.
But yeah, so then you have a form of rejection, like the thing you put on Twitter where you're like, oh, 2018's mine, baby. Like that. So that's your like Nate Diaz moment where you're going to have to be like, all right, like if I got to swim 7 miles so I can get a salchicha.
Well, I've been talking about this for a long time, and I don't want to get too inside comedy, but Doug Stanhope is quite possibly my favorite person in the world. One of my favorite comics. Yeah. But even more so what
Please
he does
don't get
off
too
stage.
inside comedy. Yeah. Don't do it.
I know you wouldn't understand. Sorry, you walked into it.
I won't get it. I'm sorry.
No, but like
So
just the idea that at one point he was kind of like, to an extent, I'm done with the industry side of things. I'm going to do this how I want.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge part of that that's missing in comedy right now.
I don't even...
So many people are resting back hoping the industry comes to them, but not realizing you got to self-create. We're in a time where there's so many different platforms to self-create.
But I think you're also seeing people have a lot of success through that self-creation Stanhope model. Like all the most successful people we know...
It's a hard model to put because Stanhope was successful before he went anti-industry.
Yeah, but also like the people we know that are the most successful at art, like that are our peers, are mostly people that created something on their own and that blew up.
100%. The
They're
only reason I have a
podcasters,
following
you know?
on Twitter is because of the projects I self-created to get that following.
Yeah, they're Twitter people, they're
grassroots
podcasters.
tour.
Totally.
I mean, when I would go on tour, it was never through comedy clubs. It was always, I was like a record shop in Louisiana that wanted to do comedy because I knew that was the best way to be like, hey, I don't want to have a middleman. Like, because in a comedy club, there's always a middleman. Someone's taking money from you.
Yeah.
When you do a venue like that, it's you and the venue owner, and you're pocketing whatever you agree to pocket. There's never any bullshit behind it. It's just the easiest way to go, unfortunately, right now, is to eliminate the industry from things.
It's definitely not the easiest. No, it's not. I don't think it's.
I completely disagree.
No, it's not the easiest.
It's definitely not the easiest way.
retarded.
But it
I would
has
actually say it's the hardest way to make it.
Oh, well, I mean, then but the thing
It's
is
the
like
most rewarding, I would say.
most
but
rewarding is
also-
the best way because it solidifies your career in a
If
way
you
that
could
going
look
through
back
the
at
industry
your
can't.
career
honestly.
and pinpoint where everything went right because you were the one who made it go right.
Yeah.
That's rewarding.
But
you don't want to be that guy who's like, yeah, well, this person gave their word and then told this executive.
why don't you want to be that guy? Though?
Because fuck the industry.
See,
you
yeah,
don't want-
I
you don't wanna-
totally want to be
you
that
don't
guy.
wanna-
Speak
you
for
don't- the thing
yourself.
is like you don't want to be that guy because you're not that guy. But like the thing is like when it comes
But
to
I am that guy.
But I
I've
mean-
been that guy since I started going on the road. It was always my own doing.
No, but
No,
I mean,
you're saying the
I'm saying you
industry
don't want to
guy.
be. You're like the industry guy, where it's like, oh, I knew so and so, this, that, and the third, da da da. Like those guys, like nothing, not to take away from what they're doing, but like,
Oh, they do great work. Just
they
not
do
for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, so everyone is always looking to the other side, like, oh, I'm not that guy, so I can't be like that guy.
I have
So
to be honest, the grass, the term "the grass always greener" is true because when I started going on the road and doing these DIY tours, it was all no comedy club, no middleman. It was just me, grassroots effort, self-creating. And then this past year, I switched over to hey, I'm going to start doing more clubs.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a manager.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like the old way I enjoyed more. Going on the road knowing, because I come from I was a college baseball player, so I come from that world. I was a pitcher. So if I fucked up 9 times out of 10, it was on me because I made a bad pitch. I like the idea of comedy knowing if things go wrong, it's on me. I want to blame myself. I don't want to have to be like, well, this guy didn't make the call and didn't send this email. Because that's not even like a fuck the business. That's just me wanting to take responsibility.
But yeah, it's also, I mean, it's the change in every business. Like you look at all these, any vertical you work in, like all the labor has become fragmented. There's no like brick and mortar is bullshit. So you consider comedy clubs are brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Those guys stay there. Talent comes to them. They book what they see, right? But in every whether it's sales, recruiting, whatever you're working in, now people need to go out and use what they have because we have so many tools.
I'm not saying not to go to the brick and mortar people. I'm saying go out on your own, fucking make a career. make a fan.
I'm saying, yeah,
The
but
thing is, though, the thing.
No, I'm saying you can go to those people, but it's a lot more helpful if you have.
Well, the other.
I'm saying it's more common now
But the
for
other
people to
no,
go.
no, you're
because
yeah.
not. It's because we're able to do more. We can do whatever we need to do from our phone in order to get bookings, send emails.
You're right.
And
the other thing is, you know this as well as I do. The people that get people to come see them city to city and really draw on the road, draw in other countries, whatever it is, have a draw when they go to another city. Most of those people, it's because of something they created on their own. Right now, our peers.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. The people that are super championed by the industry usually don't have as much of a draw on the road and as much of as strong and loving of a fan base as the people we know that kind of went the DIY route. That's what everything is now. It's because we have social media. It's because we have so many
DIY
ways
route
to
is the
self-promote.
easiest way to get a fan base that really loves you.
It's
not easy.
It's not the
It's-
easiest.
No,
It's the
I
most.
hate
It's
using
the
the
most
word easy.
effective. It's the most effective. I
don't
say.
even mean to use the word easy because
I don't think
the
it's
amount
easy.
of work I put on a daily basis.
Exactly. It's most
behind the
effective
scenes.
because you've
Yeah.
seen it. It's
I
effective.
mean,
You've seen results.
Easy in terms of you can do it in your PJs.
All right.
Right?
This is
Yeah.
true.
I'm not
I
putting
do
on,
most of
I'm not putting on a tuxedo to send it.
I wonder if
You know-
bookers know that most of the emails they get are by a comic sitting in their boxes.
yeah, like, I
eating
literally
chicken
just jerked off and now my head's clear.
Roy-
Got an email for spots.
Roy
Like-
Wood Jr. said something interesting about that. He said like people will shit on these Vine and YouTube stars, but when he sees them sell out like comedy clubs in minutes at $80 a ticket at 4 p.m.
you can't shit
He
on that.
looks at what they're doing and says, "What notes can I take from that? How can I learn from what
You
they're
have
doing?
to.
How can I study their?" It's like studying their game. It's like if someone has a new way of fucking playing basketball or fighting or whatever it is, but it's working, you shouldn't shit on them. You should look at what they're doing and try to pick up
there's
some tips
not
and
enough
notes
of
and behavioral patterns.
Comedy is this cool little profession where you could have someone that's older than you or younger than you, more successful, funnier, less funny. You can honestly learn from most people in this business.
Yeah, and one of the coolest things now is there's so many different paths to learn from. There's so many different paths to go and create on your own. There's so many different ways to carve your own lane, and there's so many different people succeeding in different ways that you can take notes from all of them and pick up a little of all their games, you know? It's like LeBron LeBron has a little Magic in him, he has a little Jordan in him, he has a little Karl Malone in him, you know? It's kind of like that.
That is, yeah. I do think that self-grading is very rewarding.
Tim's Snapchatting this.
Yeah.
Tim's
No,
like,
it's
maybe
not.
also get me booked. Like,
hey, no it won't.
Yeah.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
but
Yeah, but that's because I also feel like that you're right. It's not easy in the terms of the amount of work you're doing because it used to be like, oh, you got an agent, and then you got the booker, and then there's a club, and then you just get booked at these different clubs, and you just go there. But now it's like, oh, I gotta, you have to create content
Even
at all
when
times.
you have your team of people behind you, they only work as hard as you do, and usually not even close to that.
yeah.
I mean, the idea of a comic getting something without doing work is impossible now.
No,
There's
forget about
and
it.
like now you got Snapchat, you got YouTube, you got fucking Twitter, and you got to be so big on so many different platforms. It's a weird time because at the moment right now, it's not necessarily that the funniest people are winning. Although I hate
It's
when people
never
say
been that way, though.
It's never been that way. But the funny thing is, most of the people who are big right now are very funny.
It's all the
everybody's
truly,
big right now.
dude.
Everybody's got a Netflix special. Everybody's
Well,
got
not
a
big.
podcast.
Yeah, but he's talking about like
Everybody's got.
he's talking about legitimately big. Like they actually they
Yeah.
sell out stadiums and shit.
Oh yeah.
But
Like
then you
that-
got a guy like this. I think what it comes down to,
I think the most talented people do get to the top, usually,
I'm
unless
just
they
saying
fuck themselves
it's
over.
insane to not put in any work on for yourself to grow a following. Because you look at a guy,
Imagine that in
because
fighting.
every now and then the two mix together. So you have Kevin
Imagine
Hart.
that.
Yeah.
Because when Kevin Hart started, he would go out and he would put out an email list. He would email them when he's in town again.
Totally.
He would talk to everyone after shows. He built that up, and then the industry started to push him too. So when you have yourself pushing you and the industry, it makes this weird monster that made him quite possibly one of the most famous comics of all time.
Yeah,
pulling in
totally.
the same direction.
Yeah, so I think my point is like I'm not saying fully fuck the industry, but right now I want to go in that little cool grassroots niche. Like, you know, you got guys like Stanhope, Todd Barry, JT Habit. These guys just go on the road, and there's something cool about doing what you want to do.
Or even when Patton Oswalt did that tour back in the day.
Oh
yeah.
how great was that? The
When-
comedians of comedy.
Pat
Yeah,
Oswalt did that. Mitch Hedberg did that.
And
Attell did that.
That's like 2004. Like all these things happen sort of like on these like economic downturns where like people got to find out like they're like, okay, we got to get creative and find out how to get your art back out there.
I always find that cool because, you know, you have your regular tour dates, but then you have like a real fucking tour like that.
Yeah.
And nothing beats that, like actually going out for like 5 fucking weeks. That's like when Patton did that. That video was so cool.
Yeah, he was doing like punk rock venues and
Yeah,
all that crazy
Yeah.
shit.
I'm not punk rock at all, but I do a lot of punk rock venues.
Yeah, why not?
No, I'm
Because
not.
they're fun.
Yeah.
I think you're going in a good direction if you're trying to go more and more towards that DIY
Yeah,
thing.
and I didn't name any names, which was good.
No,
so I'm
and it's
happy
gonna
with
that shit
myself.
benefits you. Like if you're willing to put in the amount of work necessary to get your own fan base on your own through your own creations and your own work, it's benefits
you're
you so
actually
much
funny.
later. Every person who's done that has reaped the benefits, tenfold or
Yeah.
whatever. It's look at Stanhope can go anywhere, do a door deal, sell it out, make his money, have fun in the town, sell merch. He sells the most hilarious merch.
Yeah.
He steals hotel Bibles, autographs them, and sells them to his fans.
And
Like
it's-
his fans love him that much. You create a little niche
it's gotta
market
be
cult following.
beautiful
They'll love you, man.
have
They'll love you.
performing for a room that wasn't papered. Because when Stanhope does a tour, everyone who's at that room paid for tickets to see him.
Totally.
When you do like a fucking chain comedy club and you're a no-name headliner or like a no-name feature and you're getting like a weekend of work, more times than not, 75% of the people in there are because there was a Facebook post like, hey, get 20 free tickets to Dan the Mort
Yeah.
if you guess what favorite color his is.
Yeah.
Hint, it's blue, and they just give them the answer.
Yeah.
Totally.
One time I
Is
was
it blue? Is it blue? No. Oh.
I was working at a club one time and
Just little facts for our fans here at
I
Fight Fest.
guess accidentally I was on their mailing list, and I was there for a Friday, Saturday. And I opened up my email that morning. And it was like 15 free tickets for you and a friend to see Dan Lamort. And I was like, oh, we're not drawing well, are we? To wake up and see that email is so humbling.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm still a fucking nobody no matter what.
Yeah.
So we want to talk
Alright.
about.
You want to do Winnipeg?
Yeah, we'll do UFC Winnipeg. I mean, this has been an interesting podcast.
It's been
Well,
a
I
good
mean,
one.
you guys have been alright. You're probably gonna edit out all the good parts, but
I'm not. I don't want to edit out anything.
Well, that remains to be
Austin
seen.
If
looks
anything, I want more.
terrified
I
right
want
now.
more Haitian accents.
Austin looks terrified right now.
The main card was pretty. This past week, Saturday night was UFC Winnipeg, which I fucking loved because the prelim started at 5 and the main card started at 8, which was so good for me.
It was nice.
It was nice to be done with fights by the time
It was great.
10:30 rolls around. Obviously, the main event was kind of upsetting. RDA versus Robbie Lawler.
RDA took all 5 rounds
Yeah,
in
it
the
was-
eyes of all 3 judges.
was-
Kind of
I
dominated him.
honestly felt when I watched the fight that I wasn't watching Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
He just looked like a shell of himself.
I think he needs. I think it might be time for him to retire. I mean, he's a
I thought
brawler.
he
He's
was
an
gonna retire
incredible
after that
fighter.
fight.
Yes, I think everybody can. I mean, he's fought 40 professional MMA fights. He's been in some
and half
fucking
of them are fucking wars.
dude wars. I mean,
Yeah.
the Rory fight, the Condit fight,
Yeah.
round 5 of that Condit fight is one of the most
He's literally a
violent
warrior.
rounds in UFC history. He's put in his time. He's proven everything. He's proven to everybody that he's a champion. He won the belt at 170, but he looked slowed down here. He did not look like he had that warrior spirit.
Yeah.
What was interesting though
And it wasn't-
is that
his leg got
Dos
fucked
Anjos
up.
RDA looked like kind of classic, champion RDA.
He looked good.
Dude
He
was
looked
fit.
fantastic.
He was fit.
He was.
And those
He was
those
he was
leg
throwing
kicks
mad
were
hands,
insane.
mad
man.
hands
Yeah.
through the whole fucking thing. He was still throwing elbows in the 5th round.
He didn't gas at all.
crazy. No.
His cardio was up to when he was.
Do you think he's better?
Your arms look amazing, Raphael. Let me know how you do that. It's fucking
He's,
unbelievable.
He's actually our #1 subscriber.
Dude.
He's clearly he's clearly better at 170 than he was at 55. Because 55 he had so much trouble with that weight cut. Remember he almost died that one time. He was
Yeah,
like
he looks good now.
unconscious,
He looks
unresponsive
looks
for 3
healthy.
minutes.
Nothing.
fucking great haircut.
There was nothing wrong with his cardio. It was all where it was supposed to be.
What's crazy too is now it just even further beefs up that 170 division, which is already full of fucking beasts.
Oh yeah.
It's so stacked, and now the RDA's in there, and he's fighting like a monster.
What is he, he's Brazilian?
Yeah.
And then it's hard to not talk about
From
fucking
Rio.
Josh Emmett, who sent Ricardo Lamas
To
into
another planet.
universe. It was insane.
Was that the
The bald
looked-
guy,
the bald
who-
white guy,
yeah,
yeah,
who
that's right.
knocked out the other guy.
I just
was
understand fighting by people's haircuts. Fucking
Yeah, he.
That,
It was the first round.
left cross.
Yeah, it was kind of. He hit.
It just looked like a fucking cartoon punch.
It was.
It was like-
It was a bad knockout when Daniel Cormier had them slow down the video and counted how many times Lamas's head hit off the canvas.
It was so crazy.
Cormier was, look, there's the 5th bounce. It bounced
Yeah.
5 times.
That was one of those where like the ref rushes in, is like, don't
Yeah,
touch me.
Josh
I'm
Emmett didn't even
freaking
go
out.
for a follow-up punch.
No,
he just
he
he
knew
hit
he
him and he
knocked him
walked
out.
off.
He's only got in his own. He's kind of coming out as a beast now too. I mean, his
I think they were saying,
his only loss is a split decision, and that's it, right?
So he tried to like upper. He tried
no.
to right.
Dan's looking at me like I have no fucking
So
idea.
it was a right uppercut, and then the guy that got punched in the face threw a straight jab, and then he caught a left cross.
Well, he caught the left while throwing the jab. The jab still landed.
The
but
jab,
he
yeah.
had already gotten hit, so the power wasn't there.
Yeah, that's
but
what's
if you look
crazy.
in the slow down, Emmett still got hit in the face.
That's what crazy like that about that punch. The craziest thing when I saw, I was like, dude, how did he hit him before he hit him? Because he threw that. He was like a fucking cartoon cross, bro. He threw it. He threw it like from over here. And this guy's throwing a straight right jab, and he fucking got tagged across the face, bro.
Yeah, his speed was insane.
That's like that Gastelum hand speed.
I'm fucking
Glover looked good.
Yeah, Glover.
First round.
Who got kicked? Some black dude got kicked?
That was 2 fights ago.
Was that 2 fights ago?
That was,
was that Fresno?
That was Fresno. That was Marlon versus
Marlon was.
Okay. I just like I love fight. I go on. I just watch like Crow Cop compilations.
Me and Tim
like,
have watched UFC together. We watched Sean O'Malley fight.
Yeah, we watched Sean O'Malley fight. I was like this guy looks like an open micer at the Creek.
Sean O'Malley does look like the worst type of all
looks
comic.
like a Creek open mic.
Sean O'Malley does 3 Creek mics a day.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like, and then goes and fights at night.
Sean O'Malley he looks like he's killing it with topical material to QED.
But I love watching throwback fight stuff. But I gotta get back on.
If I make the mistake
and Dan
of going
Hendo
down
and
the Pride
like
rabbit hole, if I look at Pride videos, my day's ruined because I'll just watch Pride fights.
Yeah, just like
all
one.
day.
I think we talked about it.
Katsaraba fight. It's
Yeah,
like,
I think we talked about it with Diego, but nothing's better than watching the old highlights of Shogun soccer kicks from Pride, where he's just like it's just violent. It's like I can't believe they ever allowed this.
Yeah, dude.
The same thing happens. I get in a rabbit hole watching Pride videos. The next thing you know, I'm plugging in my Xbox 360 to play UFC Undisputed 3, which was the one game that lets you have Pride fights.
Yeah,
you know,
and I'll just play like a shitty computer and just fucking soccer kick.
Yeah,
or like
I always end up. I went to the other day. I was watching it was like street fights, and then it was like the 2017 like illest knockout compilations, and it's showing like really weird like amateur fights or whatever.
Yeah, and it was just Kimbo Slice's funeral.
Yeah, dude. Somehow I ended up no joke. Somehow I ended up on Michael Jai White teaches Kimbo Slice how to throw a punch.
That's actually Kimbo.
Have you seen that? It's fucking ridiculous. I don't know. Like speaking of Undisputed, you remember Undisputed with Michael Jai White?
Yeah.
The black dude that played Spawn. Those weird movies that were like directly to DVD where like Michael Jai White's like the only black dude in a Russian prison.
Of movies, right to DVD.
Yeah, there's like a 7-minute video of him and Kimbo talking about how to throw a perfect punch, and they're all wearing like inmate uniforms. It's great. I don't know how I ended up watching. I watched the whole thing twice.
Sounds great.
It was
watching those old Kimbo street fights amazing.
Oh, dude, unbelievable.
That dude was literally getting paid money to go to people's houses and
beat the shit out of them. You ever seen Masvidal's old street fight videos? Masvidal used to be like a street fight brawler in Miami. It was
like
insane.
Never Back Down. That was a good movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
And
unbelievable. Let's talk about real fights. Like you guys,
Mike Perry lost, which was great. Everyone
there.
thought Perry was gonna win, and then Poncibio beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't know if he beat the shit out of him, but he beat him, which was weird because Perry was actually a favorite.
Tim's looking up.
Yeah, you want to answer? Dude, that's these fight nights. It's a lot of the
There's
prospects.
so many now. They're going to turn into like the NFL. There's like 2,500 games a season. Like, they're fighting again. Like
I've learned that the bigger the UFC prospect, the harder the name it is to pronounce.
Yeah.
I'm just like, really, this is the guy who's going to get big. The one who I know I will never learn how to say.
Yeah. Who's?
You're in Khabib. When Khabib started popping, it was like a nightmare.
Half the UFC prospects look like an uncompleted Wheel of Fortune board game. It is terrible.
Yeah, they look like a collection of Scrabble pieces.
I feel so bad for boxers now.
Why?
Because like when people talk about their fights, it's like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's definitely MMA is kind of overtaking everything. Even Bellator seems to be more popular than boxing.
Whatever, Bellator's all right. Bellator's like the reboot of like the UFC. It's like, hey, remember when these guys fought? Well, they're fighting against like Chael Sonnen versus Rampage Jackson. Oh yeah.
It's like the Legends part of the video game. You ever play NBA Street with the Legends?
Yeah.
Instead of Legends retiring,
it's so sad though.
Run at Bellator.
Yeah. It's so sad
though. The problem though, there was a big there was a McDonald, not
McDonald's.
One of them, not Rory.
McDonald's All-American.
Yeah. What is it, Mike McDonald? He used to fight in the UFC. He fought this past Saturday on Bellator or Friday. But the problem is, what Bellator does is they put on the events, then they air it later. So all the articles already go out of who won.
Yeah, and it kind of ruins it.
It's not the same watching it knowing who wins.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I am excited for their Grand Prix heavyweight tournament.
There's nothing more relaxing than watching the fights and having like Twitter up on your computer and just like checking everything. And
I live tweet every fight.
It's great.
There's this new movie coming out about this English dude that gets locked up for trafficking heroin in a Thai prison.
Classic.
And he was like an enforcer. He was like an enforcer, like a boxer enforcer for this heroin ring. And like he gets locked up in this prison, and they teach him how to do Muay Thai. Like, dude, they should do that in reverse for the UFC. right?
What? Explain.
Austin just reached over, turned off the camera.
What do you mean? Like they should capture like Thai people and put them in prison and teach them how to fight.
That's just a good point. This is a good time to wrap up the podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Middle Easy Fight Fist podcast. Give it up for our guests. Give it up like there's a crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest, Tim Sturtevant. You want to plug your social media?
Yeah, guys, get at me on @TSturtComedy. That's TSTurtComedy. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Fight Fist for life.
I can't stress enough how the beliefs of this podcast are not shared by our overlord, MiddleEasy.
MiddleEasy shares none of the beliefs of this podcast.
I like how Tim waited for the camera to be a way to pick his nose.
I'm
Dan Lamort. I'm no longer headlining Caroline's next week, but check me out some other time. I'll be on the road a bunch in 2018.
He's going to be doing his own thing.
This is the MiddleEasy Fight Fist podcast. Thank you so much. My co-host, Luke Tuma, always killing it.
At Luke Tuma on Twitter, at Luke.Tuma on Instagram. Please hashtag Pace University. If you listen to this point at the podcast, please hashtag Pace University.
Hashtag fireworks and vodka.
Please rate and review the podcast 5 stars. That helps a ton if you give us some ratings and reviews. We appreciate you guys listening every week. Thank you very much.
So
as always.
Happy
Happy holidays
holidays,
on the ones
you
and
cucks.
twos.
Love you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Peace.